Mike Stokes here with Cincy Brew Bus. I'm coming to you from Taft's Brewporium here in Spring Grove Village, one of our favorite places to visit on the Cincy Brew Bus tours. Not only because they have a ton of great games and activities, but they have world-class pizza and world-class beer. And today we're talking with Ryan Blandford about their Red Bicicleta because it's just fun to say, and also because it's a delicious Italian Pilsner. And I don't know much about Italian Pilsner, so Ryan's going to tell us a little bit more about their particular beer and what Red Bicicleta is all about with the Red Bike program in Cincinnati.
Yeah, so my name's Ryan Blandford. I'm the head brewer for Taft Brewing Company. Yeah, been brewing in Cincinnati for about 6.5 years.
Awesome. So I was at the Taft Ale House and tried this beer called Red Bicicleta. And like I said before, when I first got here, besides the fact that it's really fun to say, it is really an unbelievably delicious Pilsner beer. Super crisp, refreshing, dry elements, fruit elements. Still have that kind of German taste feel to it, but there's a lot to it. It's considered an Italian Pilsner, and I asked Ryan, and he so graciously accepted to sit down and talk a little bit about what makes an Italian Pilsner and what Taft's doing and Red Bicicleta, and what does that mean?
Sure, yeah. So Italian Pilsner, a lot of people may not have heard of this before. It's a little bit of a newer trend in craft beer. A lot of people have had dry hop Pilsners. It's not something that's totally foreign, but few people actually know that that style actually was popularized by a craft brewery in Italy, which you would be like, and honestly, before I heard this story, I didn't know about it either. But I'll drop a couple non-Cincinnati names here. Firestone Walker's Pivo and Russian River's STS, for anyone that followed. A lot of people have had dry hop Pilsners. That's not anything too out there, but I don't think many people realize that the style is as old as it is and that it actually originated in Italy. So the brewery that basically popularized dry hop Pils is, and forgive my pronunciation, Birrificio Italiano, or Italiano. But they had a brewer there named Agostino, and he made this beer called Tipo Pils, which he did a German Pils. He was aware of the quality of those, but then he dry hopped it with more noble hops. And this was actually a massive innovation. This was back in the late 90s when he did this. And then breweries like Firestone Walker and Russian River, who are known for their GABF and World Beer Cup gold medal winning Pilsners, those are both inspired by Tipo Pils, which came from Italy. And so recently, a few craft breweries in the country have started actually calling their beers that, and kind of like sort of doing an homage, like giving that brewer the recognition that he deserves for kind of popularizing it. Because this beer, Red Bicicleta, wouldn't exist if Tipo Pils hadn't been created, because this beer is sort of inspired by the earlier American dry hop Pilsners, which are inspired by Tipo Pils. So that's kind of the style. Our specific iteration uses actually Italian grown barley, so we wanted to add a little bit of that Italian terroir to it. It's not just a German Pils with dry hops, but it does. The malt is then actually the grain is then taken to Germany and malted there. And then we used Satz hops in the kettle, and then dry hopped it with Callisto, which is a newer German varietal that adds some of those noble tones, but also a little bit of the fruitiness that you're kind of talking about before.
Very cool. So this particular beer has an Italian ingredient in it.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And dry hopping. Can you talk just a little bit about what dry hopping means?
Sure. Yeah. So a dry hop. So hops are in beer. We all know that. Dry hopping is where you're adding hops to cold beer or beer that's not in the kettle, So basically, traditional hopping was done on the hot side in the kettle during the boil. Dry hopping is where you're adding more hops to the beer after the brewing is done.
Very cool. And then the Red Bicicleta is an ode to the Red Bike.
Yes, yes.
And you guys have brewed with them several times,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. This is, I believe, the third iteration of our Red Bike collaboration. and it was kind of a nice little matchup because Italy has a strong biking culture, cycling culture, and they also obviously have a strong craft beer culture there too. So
right, which I had no idea that they had such a strong. Craft beer. You know,
it's sort of an untold story.
You think wine, you think pizza, you think great food and unbelievable history. But you know, churning out beers like this, it's pretty awesome.
And not just making a good beer, but influencing indirectly most of so many craft brewers in the United States, which everyone, you know, and rightly so, this is the home of craft beer. Right. But to have that level of influence, I didn't even know I was being influenced by it. So that's why one of the reasons why we're kind of calling him out. Even in the description of the beer, we actually drop his name in there, just, you know, a little homage to that great brewer.
So this will be a seasonal beer. Yeah,
this is just going to be running through the summer until we run out. We've got a decent amount left. I'd say it'll be on for another probably month and a half.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, you guys heard it here directly from the man who made the beer. You know, they've got it on tap, so you guys are looking to come out, tour with us. We're definitely going to be, you know, giving this to our groups, and it's just an incredible ode to lager. This is a lager city. It goes back to the 1800s, and for more breweries to get involved with lagering the beers, this is really kind of incredible, and it's delicious, refreshing. It's a perfect summer beverage, and I highly suggest, even if you don't tour with us, to come on down to the Brewporium or the Ale House and check it out. So thank you, Ryan.
We should. Should we do a salute here?
We should do a salute.
Salute. Salute.
Cheers.
Cincy Brew Bus.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries.